Hello, in this video we will look at the features that we have in our Chart BI PowerPoint add-in to work with SmartArts. I have here a demo presentation to show you all these features, and our first slide here includes just a simple list. Here is place for an image or an icon, here is a text, and here is another text. What I want to do in the first place is I want to give a title to all these three columns, so I turn them on. I have now here my different texts. I can, of course, resize them, and they all resize. I can set them centered or left. In this case, I want to have it left, and then I can change here the text and so on and so forth. Then the next thing I want to do, this field is too big, so let's say I want to have that smaller. So I just resize that, and this element here fills the gap. Now I have here 5 rows available, and this here is my block that is currently marked, and I actually want to add another row here, so I can add another row below. See, with a different standard icon by default. I can now say this row here should actually be above the other one. This will now be in the first place, and let's say this one here we actually don't need, so let's delete this row. We have here now our picture at the left hand side, but I would prefer to have the picture on the right hand side so that we can start here with the first small text, then a description, and in the end we have a picture. So I mark here the object, and then you can see I can move this right one field, and I can move it right another field, and now we have the picture shape at the end. The picture shape should be still a bit bigger. Again, this text field here adjusts then for the difference. This would be the name, this would be the description, and this would be the product. So you can put here an image of the product. And in our case, we do not need the name, so we just say we hide this element. Now we have a very simple list with our text and with our image, and here we go. When you have the case that in one of the lines, or respectively also columns, you have a text that does not fit in that row, you can actually enable the possibility to resize these items. So this is already activated here in this case. I select the row, and now let's just pull this bigger. Automatically the other rows are adjusted, and this row remains bigger. Now, should you want to go back and have this evenly distributed, you just disable this, and it jumps back to an equal distribution of the space for all the rows. And the same I can also do with columns. On our next slide here, another list. This is again just a standard PowerPoint object. This is the PowerPoint title, and here this is basically our SmartArt add-in. Now here in this case we want that icon here to be changed. So I open the icon library. We have here various different icons available, and we put here the world, then we put here the euros, and we put here this one, and for the last one go to industrial. This is this guy here, and we put the Italian flag. Now we have here the colors. This is bluish, but I would prefer to this greenish color that we are using. Now so let's put here multi-elements, and I want to also add a sub-item and another sub-item. I want to see the label of that. You can see here 1.1, 1.2. We make this a little bit bigger. This I can also change in A and B. And another feature that we want to highlight on this slide now particular items. So we have here 5 items, and we want to highlight the second one and the last one. So we activate the highlights, and you see that all the others are automatically set to transparent, while the ones that I want to highlight are with their original colors. Now, the next slide here, we have kind of the preparation for some workshops. What I want to show you is this kind of arrow here. This is a shape. This looks not that nice, so we change the shape type. And let's use here this one. Then we have here for multi-items. Here we have 5, here we have 5. Now, this we set to synchronized, which means that if I add an item here, there will be an item there and there will be an item there. If I delete an item here, it will be deleted in all 3 columns as well. And you see 4, 4, 4. Now on the next slide here, I want to actually show you, here we have kind of team, and what I want to show you here is we have here again icons or images, but in this case, as these are people, we want to put here some either kind of a comic, or we can also upload images into the add-in, into our library, and then use, for example, the real picture. This is too small. I would like to actually have this bigger, and it is still centered. And then as Petra Peterson is here the real boss and Peter is the boss, let's start with the real boss and move here the column to the left. And actually our team is not that big, so let's say here the 5th guy we can just delete. So let's just put 4 people on that project. Then on the next slide, I want to show you how we can use graphics actually in this add-in as well. So you see here we have 3 bars and 3 elements. So we could here now add another column again. So replicate it with everything. So we'll have another chart, we have another text box, text field, line item, etc. But in this case now, this is just for demonstration purposes, that it works also with the charts in the same way. Now change the values. I just go here in my respective box. I say change the value, and useless is just 100, while here the most helpful would be only 500, and then update chart. And you see this is updated. Our labels here we have chosen as a percentage, but we can choose here also the direct value. So you see here now 700 and the percentage we can also take off. This is now set to synchronized. Actually means I add another bar and it adds another bar to all 3 blocks. I just set this to multi-item instead of synchronized. Here we add in our first field another bar. So you see 4, while here it remains actually at 3. I can say here now also individually, let's delete here this sub-item. As they are not synchronized, you see we have 3, we have 2, we have 4. Next thing, I do not really like now that chart variant, or even actually the type of the chart. So let's see whether we could change this to a different chart type. The labels here are not really well placed, so we can move them a little bit up. And now we can also change here the variance. Let's say we want this not used part filled, and we can say the size is medium is enough. We don't need it that big. Well, no, bigger actually look better. Now in that case, let's use this already to see how we could change the overall theme. Here we have a kind of a color code theme used for this presentation, but as our presentation theme, actually we have set another one. And you see that this follows some blue colors, because our SmartArt presentation theme is actually the theme 1. Now, not everything has updated here. Let's put a lighter orange, looks better. And let's, to complete, put also this text here. Let's put here some kind of reddish. Now, the next slide that I want to show you is how we can actually really work more with the themes. So again, you can see here, I have here one block, one smart art that I added and another one. So let's start working with this one, that this should also use now the current presentation theme. I would prefer to have the orange rather here in our flow and to have white below. So I can select now this element here and let's put this to text style 3. We want to have one with the white color and a transparent background. Now also I can change my theme and I use now the text style 2 and say that should have a transparent background, that should have a white text, and it should have a white outline. Now let me choose here the text style 2. Let's go here to the second row, choose 2, and here as well, choose 2. And we have adapted this chart now to a different theme. All the elements are set to relevant theme objects. So next time we change to another theme, this would then again be just applied in the same way. Now, just to show you, we have further template slides here, what we can use. This is here, multi-items, not synchronized, with row titles. This is actually 4 different process steps that we have included here. And then this could be, just to make an example, say we use here just some uploaded images. I can again work on all the features that PowerPoint allows to use for an image. I can fit it into this size and place. So let's put here some machinery. Let's put here investments. And you see you have again another completely different slide available. Here as well, a simple list with multiple items, labels, icon, headline. One more feature. Let's take this one here. This could be an agenda of the presentation or also kind of headlines. So if we select here our slide generator, and it should create one slide where each line is highlighted. Now just generate, highlight it, and you see we get 5 slides, and on each of them a different line is highlighted. And with this we close this short tutorial video. I hope you enjoyed.